I'm like huge fan.
Okay, sure.
The reason why I'm in Miami is because of the philosophies you taught me.
Okay.
Like, I'm not texting other girls. I don't know, I've become Christian.
Philosophies Fresh&Fit taught him. Which ones? How to be promiscuous and what that entails.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I gotta, first off, I'm nervous because this is kind of like big for me and everything.
Yeah.
But here is the
Do you
deal.
agree? Why women deserve less?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, sure.
I want to preface it. I want to preface it by saying that
This guy's supposed to be a Christian, guys. He's supposed to be a Christian. Let's see what he has to say.
I'm like huge fan.
Okay, sure.
The reason why I'm in Miami.
A Christian is a true fan of Fresh&Fit that promotes degeneracy. That's hard for me to understand.
Is because of the philosophies you taught me.
Okay.
Now, there is
Oh my. Philosophies Fresh&Fit taught him. Which ones? How to be promiscuous and what that entails. Actually, one comes to mind. Myron is known for telling men that they must sleep with at least 50 women in order to understand female nature. Is this the philosophy? He started all wrong already. As a Christian, he should know that promiscuity is a grave sin.
We'll see how big of a fan I am. But there is a slight difference in opinion. Because you always preach about how men are in charge.
Yes.
Men should lead. Men should be the ones who are commanding authority and the energy of all the interaction.
All true, all true.
Interaction. So if the world at the moment is kind of like semi-evil, it's against women. And women, since they're
Did he say semi-evil? The world is pure evil. It's going to get worse, but it's definitely not semi.
passive, we are the ones responsible to change their mind. This is kind of like a Christian way. What up, Chris?
The world is evil. The world meaning the secular ideologies are against women. Secular ideologies like feminism is not only against men, it is also against women. And yes, the responsibility to change it falls on the men because it is up to men to change it since we are the leaders. And yes, this is a Christian teaching in the sense that men are the head of women, meaning we are the leaders. And as the leaders, the responsibility falls more on the men to change women in society than on the follower. I can see what he's saying here. He's making sense here.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, the men are the leaders. I agree with you on that.
So this is kind of like, where does that responsibility come in? Because like I've listened to you guys so much. You've saved me from so many toxic relationships. And I'm serious. Like you.
Really? Why were you in these relationships in the first place? You should have just followed Christianity and not be in these toxic relationships, right?
You've literally changed my life. I'm 100% serious about that. But when I came to God, because of Zerka, the most insane person on planet Earth, and by the way...
Oh, God. First of all he needed was God. All he needed was Christianity. The reason why he was involved in all these toxic relationships is because he wasn't following Christianity. He was following the world. He was following what Fresh&Fit teaches, which is to sleep around, to be promiscuous. And when you are promiscuous, when you are sleeping around, you are more likely to involve yourselves with people who are toxic, therefore toxic relationships. He came to God through Zerka. You need to go and speak to a priest and seek spiritual direction and read the Bible more, brother. Even though Zerka sparked your interest in Christianity again, he's not a person you should look to for guidance. He says and does a lot of things that are anti-Christianity. He did ask an important question before he mentioned Zerka. He said, where does the responsibility comes in for us men? Meaning, where does the responsibility to change women in society comes in for men? This is a great question. So let's see how Myron answers it.
Wait, I saw Sneaker in Elevation literally like a day or two ago. So yeah, this is kind of the question of where does the responsibility come in for us?
Well, I mean, I think the responsibility comes in with giving them less authority, which is because obviously they need less authority for us to have more authority and be in a leadership role. But if we go ahead and we make it 50-50 and give them the same authority that, we have, then it doesn't work. So I agree with you.
According to Myron, men have to make sure women have less authority in order for the relationship to work. Let's be clear. Myron is talking about financial authority. That's why he gave the example. If we make it 50-50 and give them the same authority that we have, then it's not going to work. Essentially, what Myron is saying is unless a man earns significantly more than a woman, she will leave him. Even if it's 50-50, she will leave him. If this was true, only the 15% of top earners of men would be married right now, and the rest would be divorced. If this was true, women are nothing more than gold diggers. This is obviously not true. Women are more than materialistic driven beings. All you have to do is look at poor families that immigrate to the West or women outside of the West. Both the men and the women work, and the women is still submissive and obedient to the men and wouldn't dare divorce the men. Myron is talking about a certain type of women, and these women tend to be materialistic, self-centered, allergic to religious morals and decency. To be fair, that's not all women in the West either. If a man is going to solely depend on money to control a woman's loyalty, what's stopping her from divorcing that man and taking half of his money? Isn't that what happens to male celebrities all the time? I don't advocate for 50-50 relationships, but unfortunately, because of feminism, women joining the workforce did raise the cost of living and made it more difficult for men to be able to raise a family on one income. As a result, men more than ever will have to vet for moral standards, because if your wife doesn't have the moral fortitude to make the sacrifice, or as they say, be there for thick and thin, then you have obviously chosen a woman with low moral character. Moral values is the only thing that can combat the degenerate, materialistic, selfish mindset that's consuming the West. Having said that, men and women are different. Due to our biological differences, we have different gender roles, which means when it comes to authority, we exercise authority differently. A good example would be the woman has authority over the children and the man has authority over the woman. And protecting and providing. If you need to earn millions to have this natural authority over women, then you are definitely not vetting women properly.
And this is kind of like the deal where I absolutely agree. We have to completely have authority over our women. But the whole system is against us and them. And I've been, for example, personally, I've been trying to fight so fucking hard against the systematic like oppression of...
How exactly have you been doing that? Because you can't do that unless you are following Christianity. You can't do that.
What we are supposed to do as men, which is complete fucking bullshit. I've never had a relationship where a woman respected me while me not being with another woman. Unfortunately, guys, this is kind of like the truth of the world. So
it's it's one of the uncomfortable truths.
It is very.
You have to have other women like you for them to respect you. Yes.
Right?
What did he just say? He said, unfortunately, he never had a woman respect him unless he had another woman. And then he said, I'm sorry, guys, but that's the truth of the world. And Myron goes, yeah, unfortunately, that's an uncomfortable truth. No, you're wrong. That is not the truth. If it was the truth, then why didn't those relationships work? Why did you convert to Christianity, a religion that is completely opposed to the so-called truth? That's because it's not the truth. You can't compare igniting a woman's temporary debased desires to what it takes for a lifelong relationship. Two different things. And for you to be a Christian and sit there literally praising Fresh and Fit is anti-Christian. You are validating sinful behavior, my brother. Please stop.
Yes. Right now, I have a girl who... So I'm kind of restraining myself, and immediately I see my women pull back and do all that bullshit. So it's kind of like, how the fuck do I go against that?
How about you just dump her? Because obviously what she's doing is not right. You're restraining yourself, trying to do the right thing. She's not happy with you doing the right thing, and you're still thinking, how the hell? How about you just dump her?
How do I win against the systematic bullshit that's happening right now?
Yeah, I mean, society incentivizes women to not be faithful and to play their options. And I think the only way you can really combat that, is, especially since you're a religious Christian man, is keep your sexual market value high, stay attractive. And then I think she's going to notice when other women are looking at you. I'm not saying you actually have to like go ahead and cheat, right? I understand that, you know, you're a religious guy. But I think just the imagination that other women want you could work in some instances. But it depends on the girl.
And that's definitely something that I do. I don't tell her where I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna send her clips from this video.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like. And
we're
by the
live
way,
right now on YouTube, so yeah, feel free to put whatever you want.
Let me super chat.
This guy's still in a toxic relationship. He's still in a toxic relationship. How about you dump your woman and choose a woman who believes in Christianity also? Who shares your moral values and ethics? You are clearly going out with a non-Christian modern woman. He asked, now that I am religious and I am not texting other girls, immediately his girlfriend is pulling back and he's seeing all this bullshit. Do modern men just lack basic common sense, or are they just morally degenerates? I think it's both. Who would want to be with a woman who, unless you made her jealous, she doesn't want to be with you? Does that sound like a good woman, or does that sound like drama? And listen to Myron's advice. Just raise your sexual market value and stay attractive, and she's going to notice when other women are looking at you. Basically, do the same thing that this so-called Christian guy suggested earlier. Do you know what my advice is? This woman is clearly not a Christian. Dump her and go and find a Christian woman that shares your values. That's the solution. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time, all right?